Imagine training your entire life, making it to the highest level of basketball on the planet, stepping onto an NBA court in front of thousands of fans, and then never playing again. No trade, no injury story that makes headlines, no farewell tour. Just one game, one box score, and then gone forever. Out of more than 4,400 men who have ever worn an NBA jersey, only a tiny handful played exactly one game and vanished. Today we're diving into the strangest, saddest, and most fascinating stories of players who got their shot, took it, and then disappeared from the league forever. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to HoopNexis, the channel where we dig up the stories the NBA highlight reels never show you. If you love basketball history, underdog stories, and the hidden side of the league that never makes it to SportsCenter, hit that subscribe button right now, because today's story is one of the wildest you'll hear all year. Let's start with the shortest NBA career that has ever existed. His name is Jameson Curry. Not Steph Curry, not Del Curry, just Jameson, and if you've never heard of him, that's exactly the point. Curry signed a 10-day contract with the Los Angeles Clippers back in 2010. He waited on the bench game after game, hoping for a chance, and finally, in a road game against the Boston Celtics, his moment came. With just 3.9 seconds left in the third quarter, the coach called his number. He checked into the game, briefly guarded Rajon Rondo, and before he could even get a real possession, the horn sounded for the end of the quarter. That was it. 3.9 seconds. No shot attempts, no rebounds, no stats of any kind because there simply wasn't enough time to record anything. The Celtics won the game, and the very next day, the Clippers released him. Just like that, an NBA career that lasted less time than it takes to read this sentence was over. Curry kept playing professionally overseas and in the minor leagues for years afterward, but he never got another call to the big leagues. To this day, no player in NBA history has a shorter recorded career than Jameson Curry. But he's not alone. There's an entire quiet club of players who share this exact fate, and their stories are honestly heartbreaking in the best and worst ways. Take Antonio Anderson. Before the NBA, Anderson was a winner. He played 4 incredible seasons at the University of Memphis, racking up over 130 wins and even reaching the national championship game in 2008 alongside future NBA star Derrick Rose. Despite that resume, NBA teams passed on him completely in the draft while his own college teammate got picked in the top 5. Anderson didn't quit. He grinded through summer leagues, training camps, and the developmental league, even earning a Player of the Month award along the way. Then, in February of 2010, the phone finally rang. Oklahoma City wanted to bring him up for a game against the Denver Nuggets. He suited up, stepped onto an NBA court for the first and only time in his life, and lived out the dream he had chased since childhood. After that single appearance, he was let go and never got the call again. Years later, when asked about that night, Anderson said it wasn't a moment of bitterness, but motivation. A reminder that hard work got him further than almost anyone expected. Then there's Tyson Wheeler, whose entire NBA story is wrapped in a kind of mystery even he can't fully piece together anymore. Back in February of 1999, Wheeler dressed for the Denver Nuggets during a road trip to face the Houston Rockets. He got into the game for a matter of minutes during his month-and-a-half stint with the team, but strangely, he remembers almost nothing about it now. He said in interviews that he has trouble even recalling the other games he dressed for but never stepped onto the court for. He never kept his old jersey, he doesn't have highlight footage saved anywhere, and honestly isn't even sure the team would have let him keep his uniform if he'd asked. What he does have is the memory, faded as it might be, of sharing a locker room and an NBA roster spot with professional athletes most fans only ever see on television. He went on to have a long, respected career overseas and in other professional leagues, and by all accounts, he holds no bitterness about how his NBA chapter ended almost as fast as it began. So why does this happen? Why do talented, hardworking athletes get just one single game before being cut loose forever? The truth is, the NBA only has about 450 roster spots available across the entire league in any given season. Teams sign players to what are called 10-day contracts, short-term deals used to fill gaps caused by injuries, suspensions, or roster experiments. A player might get called up purely because a team needs a warm body for a single road game, someone to sit at the end of the bench in case of foul trouble or an emergency. Sometimes that player actually gets into the game for a few seconds or minutes, and sometimes that's the entire extent of their NBA legacy. As one former NBA player once wrote in his memoir, the league operates like a carousel. Guys are constantly jumping on and jumping off, and for some, the ride only lasts one single loop before it's over. What makes these stories so powerful isn't just the brevity of these careers. It's the perspective these players carry afterward. Almost none of them speak with resentment. Many of them, even decades later, describe those few seconds or minutes on an NBA court as some of the proudest moments of their entire lives. They shared a floor with legends. They pulled on a jersey that carries the same Jerry West logo worn by icons like LeBron James and Michael Jordan. They can tell their kids and grandkids that they made it, even if just for one single night. In a world where we tend to only celebrate the superstars, the record breakers, and the Hall of Famers, these one-game wonders remind us that there is an entire hidden layer to professional sports filled with grit, sacrifice, and quiet triumph that never gets its own highlight reel. At the end of the day, making the NBA even once, even for 3.9 seconds, puts a player in a category that most basketball players who have ever lived will never reach. It's easy to look at these careers and see failure, but really, it's the opposite. It's proof that dreams don't always look the way we expect them to. Sometimes they last a lifetime, and sometimes they last just long enough to guard Rajon Rondo for a few seconds before the buzzer sounds. That's the story of the players who disappeared from the NBA after just one single game. If you enjoyed diving into this hidden corner of basketball history with us, make sure to like this video, subscribe to HoopNexis, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next deep dive into the stories the league doesn't usually tell. Let me know in the comments which one of these stories hit you the hardest, and I'll see you in the next one, right here on HoopNexis.